The Miami Smelter's electric furnace, or ELF, is an area with significant hazards and risks. Electric currents, molten metal, extreme heat, explosive gases, high noise levels, and mobile equipment are just some of the main hazards you can face daily in the ELF work areas. In order to ensure your safety, please follow all rules and regulations. The electric furnace uses 6 electrodes that are 6 feet in diameter each to keep the mat and slag inside the furnace in a liquid state. Each pair of electrodes uses approximately 4 megawatts of AC power for a total ELF power of 10 to 12 megawatts. The electrode AC voltage is approximately 300 volts and current is 35,000 amps. These voltage and amp levels are extremely high. Not taking the appropriate safety precautions can result in death by electrocution. The other primary hazard associated with the electric furnace is molten metal. The copper mat and slag is over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. The outside brick and discharge ductwork is over 800 degrees Fahrenheit. The basic mandatory personal protective equipment for the electric furnace area consists of hard hat, hearing protection, safety glasses with side shields, a respirator which must be worn at all times when on the second floor and higher, coveralls, leather gloves, steel-toed safety boots with metatarsal guards. Certain tasks performed in the work area require additional PPE. Contact the control room at area code 928-473-7036 to let them know you're working in the ELF area. Restricted access. Only authorized personnel can access the mat end while employees are tapping or burning open tap holes. Only authorized personnel can access the slag end while employees are burning open tap holes. Only electricians and authorized personnel are allowed inside the MCC rooms. When furnace power is locked out, only the electrician is allowed inside the room. The electrician will place the group lockout box outside the room where operations or maintenance personnel can put their personal lockout lock on it. An ECC lock can be used if there are several people using a group lockout box for the task. Water coming in contact with the slag and mat can cause steam explosions. Never spray water on molten copper. Report any leaks immediately to your supervisor. Flexible hoses used to convey gas, air, or water must be constructed of non-conductive materials. Metal lances, except for oxygen or gas lancing and agitation of the bath, are not permitted in the electric furnace building without first consulting and acquiring authorization from the ELF supervisor. Use caution when carrying any long metal items such as pipe, conduit, structural steel, and so forth, so that contact is not made between 2 electrodes or an electrode and ground. Non-conductive or double-insulated tools and equipment must be used for tasks when power is still on. For example, plastic lances used on paste fires or welding casings. Stray currents may exist that can heat up metallic handrails and structural components. Ensure gloves are worn at all times. Anyone using an electronic medical implant device, such as a pacemaker or insulin pump, is restricted from accessing floors 1, 2, and 3 of the electric furnace building. Never stand directly on the roof arch. On the bottom floor of the ELF, the main hazard is exposure to molten metal. Access under the furnace is restricted to authorized personnel only. Vehicles are not allowed to be parked in the ELF courtyard without permission from the control room. Clearance from the control room by phone or slag hauler operator by radio is required to access this area. When inserting metal lances through the first floor inspection doors, ensure that the lance is not set within 4 feet of any electrode. The PPE cabinet on the west side has equipment for looking in the access doors. Second floor. Anytime a task is performed on the electric furnace arch catwalk on the second floor, the arm gate to the entrance must be locked out. The power to the electric furnace electrodes must be locked out any time the plane is to be broken between the catwalk and the arch area around the electrodes on the second floor. When working on or near an electrode, never step on the arch. To perform the work safely, install brackets to use wooden planks. Besides being hot, there is the possibility that the arch could give way and a person could fall into the molten bath. Even when the furnace is shut down, no one is allowed to stand directly on the arch. Before performing any task inside the fiberglass fence on the third floor, ELF power must be locked out. Climbing on or over the fence is not permitted. There is warning signage on the fencing that surrounds the electrodes. Forklift access on the west side is through the keyed gate. Furnace lockout is required. Use a PVC lance to blow off the electrode slipping devices and panels on the fourth floor. Furnace power must be locked out for work performed beyond the plane of the handrail barrier around the electrodes on the fourth floor. North to south access is restricted to authorized personnel only. Carrying any long metal items such as pipe, conduit, structural steel, and so forth is prohibited on the fourth floor unless furnace power is locked out. Shortcutting between electrodes is prohibited. Only trained personnel can use the paste crane. Emergency evacuation. In the event of an evacuation, anyone in the ELF area must proceed to the designated evacuation point in an orderly fashion and remain there until a head count is completed and evacuees are released by area supervision. The ELF's primary assembly area is the operations office located next to the ASOMA lab on the opposite side of the pedestrian bridge above the slag end. Thanks for watching, and have a safe day.